Hello there, Leos. Welcome to your April 2017 tarot reading. I'm going to relay some messages that came out while I was shuffling the cards, and then we're going to go into this reading, okay? The first thing I'm seeing here is I feel almost as if it's going to be a very, very busy month for a lot of you. Make sure you are not, diverting your attention, your time, procrastinating, and especially taking care of things on a practical manner. So that means, don't let the dishes pile up, don't let the bills pile up. Just make sure that you're on top of things, because I feel like energetically, you're going to feel under the weather. I don't feel you guys getting sick or anything like that, but I feel this overwhelming sense of lethargy, coming over you. And a lot of it has to do with you thinking about, all the tasks that are laid out ahead of you and not knowing, not wanting to do it, not feeling motivated enough to get things done. So, when the month starts out, try to just keep yourself a little bit more structure, have a little bit more of a schedule, a flow in your environment so that you're not falling to, this feeling of, lack of momentum, just inertia, where you feel like you just want to relax and you just want to forget about the practical responsibility. So that's the first message. The second message here pertains to relationship. As I was shuffling this out, I felt like there was this love sickness about you. And I feel like some of you, especially for those who are single, I feel like you have suitors, okay? And you have somebody in your environment that is very, very attracted to you. And they might come on a little bit strong. They're a little bit more syrupy with the way that they court you. And I feel like this person is very sincere. And you're looking at your options in the dating front, and you might not see what a, what a catch they are. And so it is a really good time to re-examine people and place value in the right things and in the right people, okay? Seeing values in the right things, seeing values in the right people. That's going to be very crucial for you. And then I'm seeing for those of you in a coupled relationship, if there has been a falling out recently, I'm sensing that you're stubborn and they're stubborn. And both of you are at an impasse, even though you both long to reconnect with one another. And so I feel like some of you might have had a falling out or might have broken up with another person. And you're trying to go out and start dating other people to try to forget that person from the past. And I just feel like this air of stubbornness about the both of you, where reconciliation is very possible, and it's going to be really good for both of you emotionally to talk things out. But I feel like you're waiting for them, they're waiting on you to make contact, and so nobody's really budging. And so some of you might be burying yourself in, going through the motions of dating, but not having any clear, solid potential suitors coming through. And then you're burying yourself in the work environment, which is fine. And I just feel like this sense of love sickness about you, where everything else is going well, but you feel a little bit empty because of the love situation not panning out. And then for those in a relationship, be very careful when it comes to communication. Be very careful about flirtations in the work environment that might, negatively impact your current relationship. And once again, if I do see potential for conflict coming in for your relationship sector. So this can be work, like business partnerships or even romantic partnerships. And once again, I'm seeing conflicts coming up. And it seems to me like it's the same issue over and over and over again. And it seems like it might be related to flirtations and trust overall. And so you're stubborn, they're stubborn. And once again, there's communication breakdown, or there's just an impasse between the two of you. So take the first step to, really see the value in people and really see what's really important in life, like the bigger picture things, not the minor little disputes, but the bigger picture, and promising yourself to compromise and at least try to listen where the other person's coming from and listen to not the problem. Like a lot of the times in relationships, the same problem creeps up, but it's not so much the problem. It's the way that the situation unfolded and the way that the situation made your partner feel. So while you might think, oh, this incident is stupid, this incident is silly, the emotions that it evoked in your partner, it's real. So getting your partner to address that, or you yourself taking the first step to address that, the feeling that it evokes in your partner, the way that they might feel underappreciated, they might feel snubbed, they might feel like you're taking them for granted, or, vice versa. That's really important. So, start talking about how that event made you feel so that you both can clear up miscommunications and that you both can arrive at, at an agreement where you understand where they're coming from. And so you both vow not to, succumb to a specific behavior in the future. So that's very crucial for this month, okay? Like, putting yourself in other people's shoes, and especially when it comes to relationship partners. The last information that I have coming through is I'm sensing there's a lot of like official paperwork that needs to be done from your end. And in the United States, it is tax season, but I feel like it could be taxes for some of you. But I'm feeling overall like a lot of paperwork in order to, I'm seeing deeds to a property, deeds to a house, deeds to a rental unit, renewing things, and forging new contracts in order to get a specific service delivered, or to ally yourself with a specific supplier, or a specific distributor. So official documents, contracts being signed, and I see a lot of that coming through. And they're telling you that, these are things that, what I mean by practical responsibilities, those things need to be taken care of. Because I feel like you're looking at something and you're just like, oh no, the tasks are so daunting, I don't want to get started. But once you tackle them one at a time, it's not going to seem so overwhelming. Okay, so conserving your energy, but at the same time not feeling complacent, tackling things, and in the process making yourself feel a lot more productive, that you're able to minimize, like rather than tackling something head on, you carve it out in chunks, like smaller portions, so that it's easier for you to tackle. So that's going to be really important. Okay, seeing the values in things and people, and also I guess like break down problems into manageable parts so that you can resolve them without feeling overwhelmed. All right, so let's go into this reading here. And let's talk about the first card that's coming through, because this is something that signifies residual energies coming through in the March timeframe. So we have here the Two of Pentacles. This is a situation where you are trying to get your financial situation in order. You're trying to move money around, different bank accounts, consolidating money, as well as figuring out if you have enough in your coffers in order to make some type of a large purchase, or in order to divert your funds in a specific venture. Okay, and I feel for some of you, there has been some type of a work partnership with another person, possibly an earth sign. So I have here a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. And I feel like it's a mixture of friendship, business, and also pleasure. So I feel like a lot of you might be doing some type of a creative project with this person. And the way that it's been done in the past, it doesn't feel to me as if it's generating enough income for you. And I feel like the project itself has a lot of potential, but I'm sensing that you might be working at cross purposes with one another. You might have creative differences that will hinder your ability to move projects ahead. And I feel like you yourself might, if you are involved with this person in a business partnership, I'm also sensing you have other other things that you're diverting your time with or distracting yourself with. And so this partnership is not generating the income that you're hoping for. And so business partnerships need to be thoroughly re-examined. We need to really understand where time or, energies or specific like financial resources are not siphoned or are not utilized properly, so that we can cut back on costs, and so that we can, manage our financial situation a little bit better and have a better blueprint or a better sense of direction as to what needs to be done. So having a discussion about financial assets, financial resources with a business partner, laying out a game plan for yourself, that's going to be very crucial for you for this month. What I'm also sensing as well is there has been some major financial upheaval within your environment. And I do sense a lot of it has to do overall with you feel like you want to do work that is emotionally fulfilling, right? Everybody wants work that is emotionally fulfilling. But I do sense for some of you, there is a sense of obligation when it comes to your work. A lot of you might have some type of a family-owned business where something is passed down. You don't want to do it, but you feel obligated because of sentimental reasons, because your family might be dependent upon you. And so as a result of that, I feel like you might be jumping in sort of half invested in it. Like when we start something, if our energy is scattered and it's not 100% heart, body, and soul invested into a specific venture, it's not going to generate money. And that's just, it's a universal energy. It's basically the law of attraction. So make sure you are yourself aligned, heart, body, and soul when it comes to the work that you're doing. Otherwise, there's this cyclical pattern here about going through the motions, making money and not feeling emotionally fulfilled, or going through the motions, doing a job where you're not emotionally fulfilled and the money's not coming through. So I feel like there are some blockages in your finance sector, and it pertains to your passion, your ambition, your drive regarding the work that you're actually doing, okay? And then for others, I do sense that partnerships, family, and things like that, draining the financial resources. So, I do see the image of children growing up like weeds, growing up very, very fast. They need to have either extracurricular activities that's coming through here with this Page of Swords. They want to enroll in, I feel like after school activities, field trips, even leadership camps. I'm seeing like Boy Scouts. I'm seeing like people that might, you might have to enroll your children in like summer school or even summer activities. And I feel that that's where a lot of the financial resources are going, towards family and towards children. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you're sitting down trying to figure out some type of a game plan to see if financially it is feasible for you to do that, okay? So you might have trouble. You might have a lot of trouble saying no to children if they're asking for gadgets, if they're asking for electronics, if they're asking for things that might be a little bit more on the expensive side. And I feel like you're trying very hard to provide for them. But you have to really understand, like children, finding things that are age appropriate for them and not just cater to whatever they demand. The kids seem to me to be reasonable. But I feel like you're trying to compensate. Just be careful about giving them things that they want that might not be age appropriate or that might not be appropriate for the financial situation. I hope that makes sense, okay? So being a little bit more discreet about what you're giving to children versus what you feel is appropriate and versus, what they want. So there's a fine line between that. And I'm not going to go too heavy into parenting styles, but I do sense a lot of money coming through here based on the demands of the children as they are growing up. And I see children growing up really, really fast before your eyes. So the communication for this year, for this month, April 2017. There will be a lot of discussions based on, partnerships, whether or not it is still viable for you to continue in a business partnership or continuing in a business contract with another person. And I do see many of you talking to suppliers, talking to financiers, talking to, even financial institutions as well, to take out a loan in order to invest in some part of the business, to expand the business, or even to cover up some deficits within the business. So I see a lot of you reaching out to other people, trying to find the right loans with the best interest rates, or even trying to find suppliers or even like distributors, or working, along that supply chain network to link yourself up with people, and so that you can reduce costs in your business venture. And especially for those of you working, doing a regular 9 to 5, like working for other people, I do sense there is going to be a lot of harmony, a lot of love and support coming through in your work environment. So this is a card about appreciation. This is a card about feeling quite good and feeling as if you are on the right track and making a huge difference in somebody's lives, okay? For those of you who are doing the 9 to 5, working for a company or working for somebody else, not so much for yourself, I am sensing here that there is you're going to get a lot of recognition, and you are where you're meant to be if you are in the helping profession. You're going to see drastic I want to say like improvements. So whatever work that you've been doing since 2016, I feel like this is the month in which things are coming full circle, things bearing fruit, and people are appreciative of all the work that you're putting in. So I do see some major breakthrough in the work environment, possibly opportunities for advancement, promotions, getting that desired shift, getting the proper recognition overall. And so, the opportunities might be there for you to advance ahead, where you are able to, get a salary increase, or even transfer into a different department with a higher salary, or even with higher position where you have more responsibilities. And I do see a lot of you advancing ahead and getting yourself into a position where you will be supervising other people. You will be able to have other people, work under you. Okay, so that's specifically for those of you who are working for other people, but then the ones that are self-employed or in a partnership where they have self-employment opportunities with another person, I feel like there is a little bit of a financial dip, and I feel like the financial situation, it's a little bit shaky, and it's a little bit fuzzy. It's almost like you have to sort out the details with your partner. And so there is going to be money here coming through from financial institutions, if that's the case. And I do sense that you're going to be able to get some financial assistance, okay? I also see this, the ninth house also stands for the house of in-laws, and I feel like even financial blessings, financial windfall, financial blessings coming through from in-laws, which is going to trickle in for you as well, okay? So there's a little bit of a blessing coming through from other people, and especially family members. And I feel like it's going to remind you that sense of rootedness when it comes to your family and who's really important to you. So that whole concept about seeing value in the right things, objects, material things, and then seeing the values in the right people, that's also going to be the major theme for this month. Let me talk about the relationship sector. A lot of you are, and this is romantic relationship, a lot of you are in a relationship where somebody deeply, deeply, deeply cares about you. And if, this is for people who are in a stable relationship, okay? And I'm seeing earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. It doesn't have to be an earth sign, but I'm seeing that first of all. You have somebody that really cares a great deal about you. And whenever I see this card, I usually think of it as, through thick and thin. Somebody that is going to, it's like the ride or die type of relationship where you have a really deep-rooted connection to one another. You have a big sense of responsibility towards one another. There is going to be strife coming through for this month regarding finances and regarding values. And I do sense some issues, recurring themes about flirtation in the work environment. Flirtation in the work environment, that's coming through. I do see some common themes here about trust and compatibility in the relationship. That's coming through as well. So just make sure that you are open, upfront, and very, very honest. And once again, that whole idea about, it's not so much the event that needs to be talked about. It's how the other person feels in light of what happens. I feel like that's something that needs to be flushed out between you and a partner. So I do sense a little bit of resentment, whether somebody feeling like unappreciated or whether somebody feeling that they are not heard, their point of view is kind of dismissed. They feel a little bit snubbed. So that is coming through in your relationship sector, in your romantic sector. So be very, very mindful about addressing issues and not taking things so literally when you communicate, but also thinking about, abstract, thinking of, so like this is I see this a lot in relationship patterns where people believe that it's like one event triggers something, right? And you and your partner are arguing over what exactly happened during that event. But it's not so much the event that you're arguing about. So this is like somebody taking things in a more literal sense. And this is somebody not understanding and taking things in a more of a emotional or even trying to get at the truth. So I feel like you and your partner might be arguing over the same event, but arguing about different things altogether. So that's going to be a little bit frustrating, but it is really important to flush it out. It is really important to flush out what exactly happened and things like that, and come to a consensus about, let's not do that again, or let's just promise to not so much agree to disagree. I feel like this is a recurring problem. It's a recurring problem. And so possibly for the past, 8 months is a recurring problem. And so you can't just settle and say, let's agree to disagree. Some things need to be hashed out. Otherwise, it can really affect this relationship down the line. Okay, you've got somebody that really, really cares about you. And so it's important to flush it out. So moving forward here, the last message that I want to leave you with this general reading is that I feel like some of you, there is a sense of like lacking in direction, lacking in validation, and lacking overall in that sense of feeling as if you're on the right track. Okay? And I do sense a lot of it has to do, honestly, I feel like a lot of it has to do with placing value in the wrong things in the past. And so here is what I'm seeing. You are somebody who's generally a very, very good worker. And you do things in a very diligent manner to make sure that your responsibilities are taken care of, okay? And this is a card about the mundane, doing something in a repetitive motion, not feeling inspired, feeling as if, I just want to get through the day. And so I feel like while you're doing that, your mind might be drifting. Your mind might be drifting to the place that you want to be, to the position that you want to be in, and to other things that you'd rather be doing. And so there is this major emotional disconnect between you and the work that you're doing for some of you. And this is a card here about somebody who has a lot of potential. They have great business acumen. They have a sharp eye for detail. They're very good at leading people. And these are the qualities that you embody. Great eye for detail, great business sense, very personable, very charismatic, and very likable. And at the same time, you have like a lot of ideas that you want to implement into the world. And with this card, this is almost like stopping yourself before you start, a little bit of procrastination as well. And I do sense for some of you, especially for those who are not married, who are trying to, implement some ideas, and you're a little bit fearful about how to go about it. This is a card that's telling you to take the first step rather than sitting there and daydreaming about all the things that you're hoping to achieve. Take the first steps to make that dream a reality. And that might be needing, a loan, needing a business loan, needing money to come through from an institution, or needing some practical real life advice from somebody that has gone down the same route so that you feel a little bit more motivated, okay? So that's what I'm seeing here as the last message for you. The the other thing, actually, for those of you who are students, okay, I do sense there is going to be a lot of financial assistance coming through. So if you're in a school capacity, if you're kind of worried financially for whatever reason, there's some money coming through. And, it could be student loans for the new semester, for the new quarter. It could just be a lot of financial assistance coming through from family members and things like that. But I do sense, if you are worried about money, scholarships, okay, something right up your alley, something that you can apply for. So do a little bit more research and digging, because I do feel like this might be there's some financial worries here in this spread that I'm not entirely comfortable with. And so if you are a student, look up scholarship opportunities, or even grants, or even subsidize student loans as well. Okay, so look into that matter. So let's go into your relationship readings and see what's in store for you, Leos. So I'm going to use this deck here, and I'm going to leave this card out because it's going to allow us to transition into the second part of your reading. So what's going on for Leos for the month of April 2017? Love, romance, and relationships. For those of you who are either married or, living together, I feel like there might be interference from either co-parenting, like having, children from a previous relationship, and even elderly parents affecting the relationship or interfering in the relationship. So that is something that you need to sort out with you and your partner, okay? So if this is an ongoing issue, it's going to cause a little bit of a flare-up. So be very careful about that, okay? I keep seeing children, so parenting styles between you and a person that you are with. Disagreements in the household environment regarding how to raise children. You might feel like you have the same value system as your partner, and I feel like there's something about breakdown in values overall, and you might be you might want to raise the kids a specific way, or you might want to teach the kids a specific lesson, and the other parent might feel like you're being too harsh, and vice versa. And so this is a really crucial month to flush out these issues, because these are very, very cyclical karmic issues that are coming through in the relationship front. If it's not flushed out, it's going to create an emotional rift where two people might not agree and start to have like a lack of respect for one another. So be very careful about that. If you are dealing with parenting issues, okay, like parenting styles, and you and your partner are not seeing eye to eye, and form a united front so that you can tackle problems together and unite together as, a unit when you're tackling these issues. I'm going to pull out another spread card here. Okay, so let me talk about the past. We have here the World and the Knight of Wands in the reverse position. The World is a card that indicates a lot of opportunities coming through from the external environment. This being a love reading, it basically means you have a lot of options that are made available to you. You have a lot of suitors that are coming through. And I honestly feel like a lot of you might have recently broken up with somebody. You're still in the healing process. You're going out with your friends, your guy friends, your girlfriends, having, guys night out, girls night out, etc. But you're still keeping yourself very sequestered, like secluded from the dating environment. And honestly, I feel like some of you are nursing a broken heart because I feel like there's this love sickness overall, this energy where you're thinking about a person from the past, or you are still not 100% healed up, and you might be waiting for their return, and you might not be moving ahead with your love life, okay? Meaning putting yourself out there to date other people. And we have as well the Knight of Wands. If you are specifically dealing with a fire sign, there has been some type of indiscretion, I feel like, with this person. So this is another Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries. And, this is somebody who's very, 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 very courageous, great sense of humor. They care in a very deep manner, but I feel like there might have been some issues with fidelity or even stepping out on a relationship or even deception associated with this person. So they can be, this sun, moon, or rising, but the energy that they exude is somebody who's very well traveled, who's like here today, gone tomorrow. And I feel like they might have also traveled to many, many cities, traveled to many, many countries around the world. So it's someone who's very worldly, and they're not cut out so much to be a relationship partner. When the going gets rough, they tend to bounce. And it seems as if they're running from something. Okay? So, very courageous. I feel like generally a good heart, and somebody who has been around, like who travels quite a bit. So if you have dealt with this person, I feel like I feel like you might be still waiting for this person to come back for some of you. And for those of you who are still dealing with this person as a romantic partner, there might be some issues when it comes to fidelity, lies, deception, and whether or not somebody is truly committed. So commitment issues and fidelity is coming through. The foundation here is something that you're thinking about, something that is known to be true. You're coming into the month with the knowledge of, okay? So we have here the Five of Cups. This is a card about regret, sadness, and ruminating over a situation that is outside of our control. And this is also a situation where there might have been people leaving your life. Somebody have left your life. And I have as well the Queen of Wands in the reverse position. So the energy of this person here is somebody with children. And they're very nurturing, very, very loving. In the reverse, they might be a little bit more of a micromanager when it comes to how they express their love. They might be a little bit clingy and jealous as well. So I feel like you might have tried dating, and this person has proven themselves to be a little bit like, I want to say, like, not as caring, not as nurturing, a little bit lacking in responsibilities. And so you're not sure this is the right person for you. And I feel like you are leaving that behind. You're leaving that person behind, or you have left that person behind in the past here. Which brings us to the present situation. I feel like majority of you are coming into this month single, wanting to start over, wanting to branch out, wanting to travel, and wanting to just, be the bachelor or the bachelorette and not have to deal with relationship issues. And I feel like some of you are thinking like, oh, I'm fed up. Relationships are complicated. It's too hard. I'd rather be single. And because you have this really strong, vibrant energy where you're comfortable being on your own, you're very happy being on your own, we have here the Judgment card, where you're going to have contact from the ex. You're going to have, some people coming back into your life, wanting to reconcile, chasing after you. So as soon as you decide to move on, I feel like the other person is trying to communicate with you because they see you drifting away, okay? So I'm sensing here, some of you might have been dealing with this person for the past 5 years. And I feel like there's really strong chemistry, like it's very, very strong. And the way that when a relationship is very long lasting and very deeply rooted, you feel like, oh, they're at fault for this, and they're feeling you're at fault for this. So it seems like there is a major impasse as to who's at fault, who did this, and so much has happened overall. every time you try to leave, and I feel like they know how to, lure you back in. And so the situation that's playing out here, it seems to me very cyclical. And it seems to me as if it's the same pattern that needs to be broken. And with that, communication, talking things out in a very I almost want to say like objective manner, so that you can understand what exactly the problem is, because it seems like very cyclical. It seems like, as soon as you're ready to move on, they might try to reel you back in, and they might try to re-engage with you and have a relationship start again with you, like have a second chance with you. And so that's just something I feel coming through. Fire sign energy, very strong fire sign. So sun, moon, or rising, okay? And crowning this reading is something that you're thinking about. I need to pull out another card here. Excuse me. So I only have one card. Okay. So we have here, in the crowning energy is something that you're thinking about. So first, we have here the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands basically indicates communication and contact. And it's linked up here with the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is a water sign. So this is a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is somebody that you're going to be hearing from as well. There's going to be communication. There's going to be contact from this person as well. And I feel like a lot of you thinking that you want to be the one to reach out to this person. Okay, so you have a few like blasts from the past coming through. And it is also Mercury in retrograde, and it's going to be happening on April 9th all the way into March 3rd. And the retrograde energy starts 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after as well, the shadow period. So there's a lot of energy here for exes coming back, people wanting to re-engage with you, trying to resolve some issue. If you are dealing with a water sign, I want you to be just a little bit careful, because I feel almost like there's lack of compatibility. First of all, it's elemental, opposites. But at the same time, I feel almost like this person is a little bit flirtatious, okay? Seems a little bit flirtatious to me. So let's look at this card here as the Knight of Cups. This is somebody who's directed and sincere. When it comes in the reverse position, I almost feel like they love themselves a lot more than whoever they're involved with. So it's somebody who is who plays the role of a lady or a gentleman who's perfectly on paper. In person, they seem really nice, they seem very cultured, they just seem like very polite. But I feel like deep down there's some sense here of like I'm just feeling that there's lack of sincerity. So be very careful if you're trying to re-engage with this person and you're trying to reach out. Just be a little bit careful, okay? Which brings us to the present, and this is going to be in the future position. We have here the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is basically, this is a renewal in love, or this is a new love relationship. For those of you going through cyclical patterns where you are not able to see eye to eye, or even if you're in a situation where as soon as you decide to move away, the other person comes back or comes back after you. I do sense that, if it's a stable relationship, if there has been a lot of conflict, you're with somebody that really cares a great deal about you. And this is the month in which I feel like you're going to have to overcome your differences in order to get to the fundamental truth that you both have a lot of love for each other. And I feel like it's going to need to be expressed in a softer manner here with this Page of Cups. It's going to need to be expressed in a softer manner so that the other person doesn't feel snubbed or doesn't feel underappreciated, okay? And we have as well the Eight of Coins, working towards a relationship. Okay, this is in the reverse position. So I feel some of you, once and for all, might be able to break, some of you might be able to break relationship patterns, okay? So I feel like you are shifting energy, either from like a fire sign, another fire sign, to a water sign, and you're going to feel renewal and love in a new relationship, brand new relationship. Singles, get yourself out there, okay? This is a really good month for you to meet new people and to be able to let go of the past and to overcome this lovesick energy that I felt at the beginning of the month. And we have another air, this is a water sign, excuse me, brand new water sign, Page of Cups. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, that can really put things into perspective for you. Somebody who has a very soft energy. And I sense that there isn't going to be that sense of competition with them. There's more camaraderie, there's more cooperation. If you have dealt with somebody in the past where there was a lot of ego conflict, okay? I feel like every time you try to leave, they might have tried to reel you back in, and they might have, contacted you. And so I feel you are moving away from that. Whatever you have invested in the past relationship, I feel like you're letting it go and you're moving on with a new person. For those who have broken up and are trying to move on, you're going to successfully break that cycle for this month. And for others, in a married or, in a partnership, work at your partnership, because I just feel like you really love each other. This is a really big card here that indicates, like two people walking through the ups and downs in life together. And if you have had some type of a slump, the end of March, and especially coming through in the beginning of April, this is a card to remind you, placing values in the right person. You are with them for the right reason. So it's just really important to resolve issues when they come through. And if the issues is in regards to trust issues, infidelity, things like that, and I'm seeing somebody, somebody like I'm seeing somebody being pregnant, and there might have been, flirtation outside of the relationship. So while if you are like a female Leo watching this, I'm seeing like a situation where you might have been at home taking care of the kids, or you might yourself be pregnant, and the partner, either in the work environment, there has been some dilly-dallying outside of the relationship, or you're hearing about that and things like that. So I feel like it's a situation where you have a lot of resentment for the partner, okay? And resolving the conflict is going to be very crucial for you. So we see some finality, we see some closure happening for you guys in your love relationships. And I feel like the past few months, you were trying to find your direction, you were trying to find clarity as well. And so this is the month in which, things will be brought into realistic focus for you. So you know what you need to work on, and you know who is true to you and who's going to be there for you. Okay, Leos? So I wish you the best, and I'll be back for the mid-month reading as well, possibly the beginning of April. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, or if you'd like to donate to the channel, the link is in the description box below. I'm going to be out of the country for the first week of April. So I'll be back, after that first week, okay? And I'll be back for the reading. But if you'd like to book a reading, the information, my availability, as well as, scheduling the appointment, all of it is automated. It is online at my website, which is in the description box, okay? I wish you guys the best. Take care of yourself and have a blessed spring. So talk to you soon. Bye-bye.